guys, welcome to Automation and Robotics. This year we're going to take a little bit of a turn compared to what we did last year. Last year we had a lot of time on the computers, still quite a bit of use of your iPad. This year we're going to kind of switch that up a little bit and be working in robotics kits. Info about me. Best way to contact me is definitely always going to be through email or Easttime. If you have a non-enrichment, so just the normal kind of study hall Easttime, you are welcome to come down and ask questions about things you might be confused on. Use that time as well if you need to make something up that you might have missed. Or you're welcome to email me if there's something that you're confused on or have a question about. I have 12 years of teaching experience, so this year is year 13 for me. I am licensed to teach middle school and high school math, as well as middle school and high school science. Specific focus areas were physics and chemistry for my science license. And then I'm also licensed to teach elementary, like kindergarten through 6th grade. And then I had to go back to Purdue to get certifications for each of the 3 Project Lead the Way classes. I have one son, his name is Stone, and he will be starting 3rd grade on Wednesday this week. Couple fun facts about him: he absolutely loves baseball. We spent most of our summer at the ball field. He played on a total of 4 different teams, so definitely was a busy summer, lots of baseball. He also tends to stand out a little bit among his peers. He is currently 4 foot 11 inches tall. Expectations for my class. The first one, your Bluetooth should be on at all times. I like using this because I can monitor iPads and give gentle reminders for those that get off task. But I can also monitor how you're answering questions, if there's any confusion, by just you having that Bluetooth on. Water bottles are definitely permitted in my classroom, but not at the computers though. So if we are working on the computers that day, you'll just leave your water bottle at your desk, and if you need a drink, you'll get up and go back over to get it, but still, again, leaving it at the black lab tables. This room is a lab classroom, so it should be no food or candy in my classroom. That does also include gum. So absolutely no eating of any sort in the room. Each day when you come in, I would like you to have your iPad with you. If it is not charged, you should bring a charger. I will not be lending out my iPad charger, but things happen. I get it. We plug it in at night. It didn't charge. You notice that in the morning, you should bring your charger with you. Something to write with: pencil, pen, it doesn't matter the color of pen. That way then also if your iPad does die, we can get a paper copy for you to be able to continue working. After that, a book or other homework, whether that's hard copy or something that you have available on your iPad. When you finish work for my class, I will ask that you work on something school acceptable. So that's going to be something academic. It's not going to be a game, so that's why it's always good to have something extra with you. Here, music is going to be a privilege. So if you're listening to something during the passing period, as soon as the bell rings to start class, it's the expectation that you take off your headphones or take out your earbuds. If we have too many issues, then it will not be allowed across the board. We have a couple times in here where you will need headphones or earbuds to listen to something. If you don't have them on those days, you'll just listen to it out loud. But other than that, I will let you know when music would be permitted on that certain day or during a certain lab. All the way across the board in the school, phones are going to be put into a pocket chart. As per the student handbook, there are 2 locations for your phone. The pocket chart, when you enter the room, you will place it in there, or leaving it in your locker. Those are the only 2 locations that it is permitted to be. So yes, that does mean that if you were to go get your phone from the pocket chart and try to text a parent, that's not permitted. You have to make sure you have the adult in the room's permission before even doing something like that. Last, don't pack up early. The bell is going to be something that I use to be able to dismiss you. Yes, we will have, especially when we're building in the robotics kits, a timer that goes off so that you can clean up the different robotics parts, put the kits away, but I will let you know when you're gonna head out. So don't line up at the door, don't start to stand, just stay seated at your desk area until that time is made for you guys to leave. All right, grading policy and Power School. So we are going to have a weighted grade with the following percentages. Your projects and labs are going to be 70%. Quizzes are going to be 20%. And your bell work or any types of reflections after we finish a project are going to be 10%. The two codes that you're going to see as far as that are non-numerical are going to be LS for low score. That would mean basically that you did the assignment, but you didn't earn at least a 50%. It does get raised to a 50, but the LS will be what's in that grade in Power School. NHI means it's not handed in. That also receives a 50% score, and that means that you did not turn it in. So that's not having to do with your performance. It means that the item was not turned in. With that being said, we will have a late deduction of 10% off any late assignments. Okay, that means that you didn't turn it in on time or you forgot. It doesn't necessarily apply if you're absent or sick or had an appointment. The late penalty is applied, though, after your return if you don't check in or if you don't get the makeup work done. So if you had an appointment, you would need to check in the day you return. Or if you were sick, you check in the day you return. If you wait 3 or 4 days before checking in, that item is late at that point. So you need to make sure to always check in after you miss any class to see what it is that you need to make up. That also includes if you miss a lab. If you miss a lab, it's not automatically going to be exempt. You would have to check in to see if I'm going to change the lab to fit where you can do it outside the classroom, or whether you would need to make it up during lunch or during East time in the morning. All right, so what are we going to cover in the class this quarter? Our first unit is very much an introductory unit. We are going to look at how step writing helps make clear communication. We're going to look at where robots are kind of across the world, where they are in our individual lives. What do we use them for? Different companies that are using them. And then after we get through that slight introduction, we will start to build. So about 2/3 of this course is going to be spent building in the robotics kits. Our first build unit is our mechanical systems. So we will be working and designing different products. We are going to do a little bit of a review of the design process that we went over and learned in 6th grade. I will have you sketching different designs before we build. You will build a series of different gear systems so that you can see how the parts are used and then what types of gear systems there are. Within the robotics kits, we are going to be creating a windmill, and mechanical is going to mean that it's hand powered. So we're in this system and in this unit, we're going to be building hand powered system. Our last unit is our automated systems. So again, we're still using and building within the robotics kits, but now we're going to put some type of motor on these items. So we're going to learn programming in Robot C. We're going to look at how the code's behaviors dictate what will happen, and then also what pseudocode is. We will create a car that we race at the end of the quarter, and that car is your final project because it's going to take each of the items that we have learned through the entire quarter and put it all together in one final project. Okay? So I look forward to having a great quarter with you. And as always, if you have any questions, just make sure to email or come see me.